Hey, welcome back. So today we are talking about my rig for the Sony A6600. Before we get started, be sure to like the video, subscribe, all that good YouTuber stuff. But more importantly, comment on if this is too moody or not. Like, I'm sure you guys have seen me like in this spot before, but now I have like the overhead lights turned off. So it's like darker. Let's get started with my rig for the Sony A6600. Now, unfortunately, that means that I have to take this apart and we are going to reassemble this. And I'm gonna tell you guys about all the different parts. So let's do that. And we're back. So everything is disassembled. I'm feeling now like I should have like an overhead camera, but whatever. All I have is a hole in my ceiling. We are starting off with the Sony A6600 itself. And one thing that I'm going to do before we actually move forward, I do it on every camera, I just didn't for this one, is I'm gonna take a little bit of gaff tape right here. Just gonna cover up these logos, like right there and then right there. I don't really like people knowing what I have. I don't need to go around town just saying, hey, I have a new little Sony right here. I don't know. This is one thing that I learned from Casey Neistat and I forgot his explanation for it. So now all of the big white text that says Sony is gone. So now we can start building. The first thing that we have to do is put this camera inside of a cage. So we have this cage from SMALLRIG. This is SMALLRIG's cage for the A6600. It is a specialized cage just for this camera because it has this BEBOB battery and the grip is a lot bigger than any other APS-C Sony camera. But there's a lot of good things about this cage. For example, it feels very nice on the grip side and there's a cold shoe right here. So if you wanted to, you could take a microphone and just plop it right on the side. And that's nice because now you can have your screen up and your microphone right here. And you can only imagine how convenient that is. Don't forget the screw on the side, very important. So, we got the camera in its cage. This feels like my camera again. Now, the next thing that we probably want to do is to put a lens on this camera. So what lenses do I use? So I use Sigma's APS-C lenses. They're very affordable and really, really good. I have the nice like full set of them, the 16 mil, 30 mil, 56 mil, all 1.4. You can get this entire set for $1,200. I don't know if I'd recommend the entire set. Personally, what I use all the time is the 16 mil and the 56 mil. So right now we are putting on the 56 mil for some reason. We're building a handheld rig, so I probably would never do this, but we are for the sake of this video. So I don't actually just leave it here. What I do at all times is I will add a PROMIST filter. So we just got a simple adapter ring right now. And here we actually have the Tiffin 1/8 PROMIST, and we're just gonna add that to the front. So PROMIST filters are around $100, and at the end of the day, they just make your footage look so much better. I am constantly filming with the PROMIST filter. It just stays on my camera at all times. So at the bare minimum, this is what my camera rig is gonna look like. But for the sake of this video, we cannot stop there. So the next thing that we are going to add is a base plate. This is the most basic base plate that you can get from SMALLRIG. It's about $20, and I just figured out that I've been using this wrong this entire time. I always assumed that the base plate went this way, right? But apparently it doesn't. Like, I actually looked at their website and the base plate goes this way. That's weird. But go ahead and put this base plate on. I feel like it doesn't matter which way you put this on. What is important is that you put it on with 2 screws. That way it does not shift, and now nothing should be like turning or anything. It should just be nice and solid. So base plate is useless without rods. I'm quite certain these are 8-inch rods. They might be 12-inch rods, but they are about $17-ish. You don't need this long of rods. I just think it looks weird if you only have rods coming off the back and not the front, and we're gonna add some rods. So this is a nice little trick that you see with literally all camera gear. Every piece of camera gear uses these little like knobs, I guess. And right now, like, that's kind of ugly, right? Well, what you can do is you can pull it out and then reposition it. So now it's nice and in line. If you didn't know that, now you do. Currently, this is what our setup is looking like, and it looks like we need a battery now. So we can't just slap a battery on there. We need a way to attach it. So we're gonna do that with this micro V-mount holder. This is from BEBOB, and it was really expensive. This is $300. Do you need this? Probably not. Why did I get this? Because I'm using a micro V-mount battery, and this was the smallest adapter that I could find. It took me so long to get to the point where I just buy this because it's so expensive and it's so stupid. Like, all right. And now we can go ahead and throw on a micro V-mount battery. I chose micro V-mounts over normal size V-mounts because this camera is small, and the micro V-mount should only come up to about here, and a full size V-mount battery would be like all the way up here. So in an effort to keep this as small as possible, we're using a micro V-mount. This one is the FX Lion Nano 2, and it's like $280. Very expensive, so to reiterate, to get power for this is $580. But here we are, and let's continue. Power is useless unless you plug it in, so let's do that. So there's a lot of different ways that you can actually get the power from the battery to your actual camera. You can use dummy batteries that take place of your actual battery. I don't like doing that just in case, you know, this dies, like it's about to. You can use D-tap, and in this case, you can use a USB. So I decided to use a USB because that's what I had convenient to me, and I haven't been able to find a good D-tap to micro USB that just supplies power. And I also like to shove all my cables underneath the screen. What this does is let me look at the screen just barely because it's tilted up, and it's kind of cable management. So now we're here. We're almost done. The next step is to add a top handle. This is the top handle that I am going with. This is from SMALLRIG. Everything is from SMALLRIG. This is the MD2393, and all of the links, everything is in the description. This is about $40. It's the most low profile top handle that I could get, and that's why I'm using it. This top handle is pretty cool. It has an Allen wrench right here that I've never been able to get out of this spot, but it's there in case you need it, and you are actually able to get it out. Oh, well, it's there. God damn it. So now we're here. There is pretty much one more step that we need, and that is to get a monitor. Before we get the monitor, we might as well figure out how we're gonna attach it. So this is my monitor holder. It is again from SMALLRIG. The reasons that I like it is because it has airy locating pins right here, and it has a nano rail right here. So this is really important for me. That way my monitor does not twist, and I can take it off really, really fast. I would highly suggest investing into nano rail stuff. It will suck because it's expensive. It's more expensive than non-nano railed stuff. But I think that your time and everything else is gonna be worth it if you just invest into nano rails. It's my word of advice. Also, this is why I got it, so that I can attach it to the front and not on top. I'm trying to get as low profile as possible, and this allows me to attach it to the front. Which monitor are we using? This is the SMALLHD Focus 5. Wow. Probably no surprise to you, this monitor has been out forever. It comes in at $300 for this thing. I was debating between this monitor and the Atomos Shinobi, but why did I go with this one? There is a reason why I went with this one. You may notice that there is no way to actually attach this monitor. Well, I guess you could, but we're not gonna do that. So we need a way to attach this monitor. So what we have here are little NATO rails made specifically for this monitor. You get a 2-pack for $24. They are a little bit more low profile than if you got like a full cage. I put one on top and one on the bottom. That just works best for me and how I'd run my gimbal and this handheld rig. I'm gonna do this before I put the monitor on. We need a battery. There is no battery. We need a battery. We're not gonna just use this boring NPF battery because at this point, why would we? We spent $600 on batteries so far, so what's another $90? Instead, we're gonna use the Core SWX battery made specifically for the Focus 5. This is in the description. This is a gigantic battery. You're not gonna run out of power anytime soon. So this battery, it's made specifically for this monitor. It is like the exact same size. It's nice. And there's a little indicator. I need to charge it. So finally, we can take our monitor and just put it on in 0.2 seconds. because we use NATO rails. And after very lazy cable management, this is what we have. One of the nice things is that you can adjust the angle at which you want this. So if you want to like actually be up here, you can do that. Or if you want to get some low angle shots, you can do that. This is the best I can do, honestly. So this is my handheld rig for the Sony A6600. I will have the total for what I'm holding in my hand right here. I'm gonna have a heart attack when I edit that later, but this is it. I've always wanted a rig like this, and what's nice is that 90% of these parts can be used on different cameras in different rigs. So it's more of like an investment. So like this rig is like an investment, and you can like switch out the camera. If you don't want to use this camera, you can use a different camera. Everything is like customizable, so if you don't like some of these parts, then you can get different parts that better suit your needs, but I'm happy with this, and this is very intimidating. You pull up on set with something like this, and people take you a little bit more serious. But this also comes at a premium of spending $600 on batteries. Here it is, yet again. Okay, enough for the thumbnail. Thank you so much for watching. Comment below what you think about this rig, because honestly, it doesn't do anything but give you a lot of battery life and another monitor, and maybe slightly an intimidation factor. On that note, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like the video, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and yeah, all right? All right.